All right. Okay. Yeah. So I believe you all can see my screen, right? I believe everyone can see my screen. Just reply on the chat box. Just reply on the chat box. Chat box, please. You can see my screen. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Glorious. Thank you, everyone. All right. So now we'll be starting. The topic says, okay, please, as you're joining, kindly mute yourself. I would appreciate that, so we can enjoy this class. All right. The topic says getting started into the crypto space. Getting started in the crypto space. Introduction to cryptocurrency. I'll try to make this class like um, as simplified as possible. I'll try to make it as simplified as possible. I won't use some big words. I won't use too much big words for our level now. So I'll start from the basics, the ABC of crypto. Now, we can't talk about cryptocurrency without talking about money. Now, you all know that money is anything that is generally acceptable as a medium of exchange. So, whatever it may be it paper, be it a substance, whatever it may be, that is accepted as a medium of exchange, that thing is referred to as money, not the paper itself. It's the value that is placed on that thing and the general acceptability of the substance. That's what makes it called money. So now, if you check the screen now, you see brief history of cryptocurrency. Um, there's actually a mistake. We made a mistake there. It's supposed to be like an evolution of money. Now, in the caveman era, people used the barter system in which goods and services were exchanged among two or more people. For instance, someone might exchange 7 apples for 7 oranges. Now, you all know how the evolution of money first started with trade by barter, as most of us know it, which is also referred to as the barter system, whereby you exchange goods for goods, or you exchange service for service. Service for service in a way that, okay, I will do this thing for you, then in return, you do this thing for me. But this barter system along the line had some flaws. Example of those flaws were double coincidence of ones. Now, what's double coincidence of ones? I have rice, for example, and I need beans. Now, I go to a friend and I go there requesting for beans. Now, when I got there, I discovered that he also has rice and he's in need of beans. So there is a clash. There's a clash. Most of us have from what you can see there, you can actually discover that both of us we have the same need. You understand? We actually have rights, but we are in need of beans. So this was one of the flaws of the barter system. Like you can see on the screen here, it said people's requirements have to coincide. If you have something to trade, someone else has to want it, and you have to want what the other person is offering. So this was one of the flaw. Now another one was no standard of measurements. As you can see on the screen here, there is a guy here, a giant here, holding a big lap of whatever, I don't know the meat anyway. Then a lady here holding a bag of apple. Now there was no. Now this other point, this was another flaw of barter system. There was no standard of measurement. there was no way to measure. Okay, for instance, I have apple. This woman with apple now. How much apple would she need to give this man to get this? Another example we could actually see was, let's say someone that has been rearing hen. He has actually nurtured that hen for months. Now he needs rice, and or let's say someone comes to him for rice. Okay, I need this chicken. I have rice. So how much rice will the person give in exchange for the chicken? So there was no standard for measurements. You understand? There was no standard for measurements. There was no form of scale to measure how much, like this example here, how much food would amount to the meat. So this was another flaw of the barter system. Another one we could see here is that the goods cannot be transported easily, unlike our modern currency, which fits in a wallet or is stored in a mobile phone. Now, as you can see here, is that most of these goods that were exchanged for another, they were stuffs that couldn't be transported easily. You understand? Look at this woman carrying a heavy bag of fruits now. You understand? Look at the other guy too, holding a big piece of meat. Now, it is not so mobile as our modern day currency. You understand? When you have your fiat, I'm talking about your banknotes. You can easily put that one in your wallet. You can carry it all around. You understand? You can put it in your bag, in your pocket. So this barter system had these flaws and more. So now let's move further. Now, after it was discovered that the barter system was ineffective, the money underwent several iterations. An official currency was created around 110 BC in AD 1250. Now, gold-plated florins were introduced. These were introduced and used throughout Europe, and from 1600 to 1900, paper currency achieved great acceptance and was used worldwide. Now, I'm trying to be very, very brief about this. Now, the goldsmiths. There is actually a tale about the goldsmiths that was issuing out a form of check to those persons that were actually keeping their precious items with him. You understand? So he was issuing a form of like a paper. You understand? To actually authorize that, to actually signify that you've actually deposited something. He's actually holding something for you. So this evolved, and we had our the paper money. That's the fiat. Now, this is the origin of contemporary currency as we know it. Modern currency includes paper currency, coins, credit cards, and digital wallets. For example, Apple Pay, Amazon Pay, Paytm, and PayPal, and so on. Now, all of this is controlled by banks and governments, meaning that it is centralized, that there is a centralized regulatory authority that limits how paper currency and credit card works. Now, from all these examples that are listed here, they are all centralized. They are controlled by banks and governments. If we check all these examples here, they are controlled by banks and governments. Now, this cryptocurrency I'll be introducing to us today is actually a decentralized system. I'll be saying a brief history about the cryptocurrency. Now, in 2009, the first cryptocurrency was invented by a person or a group of persons, because we don't actually know the person, because the person's identity is unknown. After the invention and all, no one has actually seen the person that invented the first cryptocurrency, which is known as Bitcoin. You understand? that marked an evolution. That marked a great evolution. So Bitcoin was invented in 2009 by um, Satoshi Nakamoto. He invented Bitcoin. That was the first cryptocurrency that ever existed, and the number one cryptocurrency according to market cap currently. So let's move further. So what is cryptocurrency? Now we've talked about money. We've talked about the evolution of money. So what is cryptocurrency? A cryptocurrency is a digital or virtual currency that is meant to be a medium of exchange. Remember when I was explaining earlier, I mentioned money as anything that is generally acceptable as a medium of exchange. Not just a medium of exchange, also used in the settlement of debts. So if an item is generally acceptable, it is known as money. If you can use that item to settle debts, it is also known as money. You understand? So now it is quite similar to real world currency, except it does not have a physical embodiment and it uses cryptography to work. Now, like you all know, when I say, um, okay, because I believe most of the persons on the call are from Nigeria, so I'll talk about our currency here. When I talk about 1,000 naira notes, definitely you can actually hold 1,000 naira notes. You can actually see 1,000 naira notes. But for the cryptocurrency, in this case, you can't hold this cryptocurrency physically. You understand? You can't hold it physically. So that is the difference between the banknotes. That's the difference between the banknotes and the cryptocurrency. You understand? So they have a different method. For the cryptocurrency, it uses cryptography to work. Now, because cryptocurrencies operate independently and in a decentralized manner without a bank or a central authority, new units can be added only after certain conditions are met. Now, these conditions, I'll be talking about these conditions in another class, not in this class tonight. I'll be talking about this condition in another class. Now, unlike our fiat, they can just easily they can just easily print new notes. You understand? You can't compare it to the cryptocurrency. For the cryptocurrency, certain conditions must be met before you issue out new units of it. Now, cryptocurrency is typically a digital money designed to be used over the internet. That's the intention of cryptocurrency. It is a typical digital money designed to be used over the net. The net, yeah. Now, the first crypto transaction, the first ever crypto commercial transaction was done in, I think, 2011 or thereabout. I think 2011 or thereabout. A particular man, he used about 10,000 bitcoins. Bitcoin, like I said earlier, is a type of cryptocurrency. He used 10,000 bitcoins to buy two pizza. You know this Domino pizza, that's big size. Yes, he bought two pizza with 10,000 bitcoins. That's the first. Crypto transaction, first ever crypto commercial transaction that was ever done. You understand? So let's forge ahead. Cryptocurrency is decentralized digital money that is based on blockchain technology and secured by cryptography. Now, for us to understand cryptocurrency fully, it is very, very important for us to understand these terminologies: blockchain, decentralization, and cryptography. Now, in simple words, blockchain in the context of cryptocurrency is a digital ledger whose access is distributed among authorized users. Now, this ledger records transactions related to a range of assets like money, house, or even intellectual property. Now, each currency has its own blockchain, which is an ongoing, constantly verified record of every single transaction ever made using that currency. Now, we have different cryptocurrencies. Now, all these cryptocurrencies, they have their own blockchain. They have their own separate blockchain. And for a transaction to go through, it must pass through some form of verification. You understand? Now, this access is shared between its users, and any information shared is transparent, immediate, and immutable. Now, one thing I love so much about this crypto space, about the blockchain technology, is the transparent aspect of it. Now, if I make if I make a claim that I've paid the sum of, let's use it in naira now. For now, let's just put it in naira for now because we are still coming. Some of us are still new into this thing. Let's say I make a transaction of 1 million naira. I paid it into someone's account or wallet. Now here we pay into wallets. You understand? The same way we have bank accounts. In this space we have wallets. So you pay into someone's wallet. I can actually verify if that payment was truly made. You understand? You know the way government actually say so amount of money was spent on this thing. So amount of money was spent on this thing. If they are using the blockchain technology, you can trace anything. You can see everything. You can actually see if a particular transaction was authorized from the wallets that they claim they paid the money from. And you can also check the receiving wallets. There is a way you can actually scan the wallet to know the transactions that have taken place in that wallet. So that's one beautiful thing about the blockchain. So with the blockchain, you can actually curb corruption. You understand? That's one reason why our government is fighting against the blockchain tech. You understand? But you can't fight technology. You can only try. So let's move ahead. Now, immutable here means anything that blockchain records is therefore good and cannot be modified or tampered with, even by an administrator. Now, the immutable here, as explained here, it means that anything that the blockchain has recorded, it cannot be modified or tampered with. Once you've initiated that command, you can't tamper with it again. You understand? Now, because this blockchain runs with a smart contract protocol. Now, this smart contract protocol, let me explain it in a layman's understanding. Smart contract, let me explain it in a way we would understand better. When we say smart contract, we are simply saying, let me use this example. I want to do something at a specified time. I say, okay, when so conditions are met, let this command be put in place. For example, when it gets to the end of the month, 30th of each month, pay so amount of money into this person's account. That's like a layman's understanding, explanation of what a smart contract is. You understand? You don't need to do anything. Just like, I think what they call it in the banking system, I think they call it standing order or so. I think standing order or so. That is, at so point in time, let this thing take place. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to interfere in any way. So if so conditions are met, if this thing is done, if this and this are put into place, let this thing take place. So that's what it means by smart contract. Now, cryptography is the method that secures data from unauthorized access by the use of encryption techniques. Now, most of the claims that blockchain makes, like privacy and immutability, are enabled through cryptography. Let's move ahead. Now, I've actually explained who invented cryptocurrency. I said Satoshi Nakamoto. It was what he built. It was what he built that gave birth to other cryptocurrencies that you are seeing. Those of us that are already into this space. Now, this is the Bitcoin. Like I said, it is the digital money. You can't, if you hold this, anybody that brings this coin and gives you this coin, eh, it is nothing. Oh. Why? Because Bitcoin itself is digital money, not a physical. It is not represented. Like I said earlier, it doesn't have a physical embodiment like our banknotes. You understand? It was what this man, Satoshi Nakamoto, it was a system he put in place that gave birth to more innovations in the crypto space. You understand? So it's still, but like I said earlier, those of us that just joined us, his identity remains unknown. Like you can see here to this day, their true identity remains unknown. So some persons actually, there have been so many claims. Some persons actually feel Satoshi Nakamoto is actually Elon Musk. Some people actually say Satoshi Nakamoto is also person, but there is no actual proof that this is the person. Now, I have talked about what cryptocurrency is. I've talked about blockchain. I've talked about the meaning of immutability. I've talked about what a smart contract is. Now, what are the advantages of cryptocurrency? Now, cryptocurrencies are the alternative to the traditional banking system and have powerful advantages over previous payment methods and traditional classes of assets. Now, think of cryptocurrency as money 2.0, like an upgraded version of money. Remember, I started this class with the evolution of money, and I said something. You can't talk about cryptocurrency without talking about money, because the same thing you do with your fiat, which is your banknotes, I can almost do the same thing with my cryptocurrency. You understand? Now, a new kind of cash that is native to the internet, which gives it the potential to be the fastest, easiest, and cheapest. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Don't distract us, please. Like I said, which gives it the potential to be the fastest, easiest, cheapest, safest, and the most universal way to exchange value that the world has ever seen. Now, what are the advantages of cryptocurrency? Number one advantage is that they are private and secured. Now, when I was talking about the blockchain, I failed to mention something, the security of the blockchain. Now, for you to hack the blockchain, it will require so much because of the way it is programmed. Because of the way it's programmed, it requires so much. It requires so much for you to hack the blockchain. And for you to hack the blockchain, it will require so many computers at the same time. So it will take so much effort and it will take so much resources to even hack the blockchain. But however, some protocols could be hacked. We'll talk about that one later. Like your wallet, the wallet where you store your coins, it will be hacked. In our next class, we'll be talking about how to store these cryptocurrencies. You understand? Like you have your fiat note, you store your money in the bank. So in the crypto space too, we have where we store our cryptocurrencies. You understand? So now another advantage is that they are decentralized, immutable, and transparent. So they are decentralized. There is no middleman. There is no central authority. You understand? Another one is that they are a hedge against inflation. They are limited in supply. Unlike your banknotes, that they can just print, uh, mint new notes. For the crypto space here, you can't just, like I said earlier, you can't just uh, print new cryptocurrencies. You can't just print new units. Certain conditions must be met for any reason. You understand? So let's move ahead. Now, crypto makes it possible to transfer value online without the need of without the need for a middleman, without the need for a middleman like a bank or a processor. So with with cryptocurrencies, you can easily transfer value online without the need of a bank, without the need of a processor. All you just need is to collect the person's wallet address and you transfer the funds there. Chicken, very, very simple. Another one says here, they can be used in buying goods and services or held as an investment strategy. As an investment strategy, you can use it in buying goods online and services. Um, Platforms like Apple Pay and some stores abroad, you can actually use your cryptocurrency to buy commodities over there. You understand? So another one says, regardless of where you were born or where you live, digital currencies guarantee equal opportunity. Whether you were born with a silver spoon, whether you were born with a golden spoon, whether you were born with a wooden spoon or a plastic spoon, the digital currency, the crypto, gives everyone an equal opportunity to amass wealth. Now, you have the same crypto access as everyone else if you have a smartphone or any other internet connected device like your PC. Now, cryptocurrency creates one of a kind opportunities for increasing people's economic independence all across the planet. Let me explain this part. Now, cryptocurrency, like I'm saying here now, it gives you opportunity to be independent, not dependent on your economy. Like if you see a good crypto trader, if you see most crypto traders out there, most crypto investors out there, they're not so concerned about the economy. They're not so concerned about the economy of where they live because they operate on a global economy. You understand? They operate on a global economy. It gives everyone a one of a kind opportunity to be financially independent. So now I've talked about the advantages of um, I've talked about the advantages of cryptocurrency. Now someone might be asking, um, does it mean this cryptocurrency you are talking about? Does it mean that it doesn't have disadvantages? Because the way you are saying it now, it means everything about this crypto is just rosy. No, no. There is, as I've talked about the advantages now, we also have disadvantages too. Now, these disadvantages are peculiar. I'll talk about few here, then later on I might talk about others before we end the class. Now, one of the disadvantages of cryptocurrency is that they are prone to high risks. They are prone to high risk. If you are not careful, as a newbie in the crypto space, as someone just coming into the crypto space, you need someone to guide you. You need someone to guide you. You don't just invest on any cryptocurrency you see out there. You need to do your findings. You need to make your research before you invest on any cryptocurrency. Now, another disadvantage is that they are widely they are not widely understood. Now, this means that some of us we don't take our time in learning how these things work first. We just want to invest. That's why so many persons that come to my DM to say, please, I want to buy this currency. I want to buy this cryptocurrency. Please tell me the cryptocurrency to buy. I'll tell them, go and learn. I always tell them, go and learn how this thing works. Go and learn how this thing works. Okay, can you all hear me? Just reply in the chat box. Reply in the chat box. You can hear me. Yeah. Alright, thank you very much. So let's proceed. So, like I said, it is good you learn how it works first. It is good you learn how this thing works first before investing your money. So let's forge ahead. Now, crypto versus traditional banking system. Now, to understand the difference between cryptocurrency and fiat money, the fiat money like euro, dollars, naira, pounds, pesos, and all, we must understand the use of money. Money has been used for many centuries now as a store of value. In recent times, the value of that money has been backed by the government of the country as the legal means of exchange of value within that country. Both cryptocurrency and fiat currency can be referred to as money because they both help store value and can be used to purchase goods and services. Now, the significant differences is that while fiat money is a legal tender across territories and backed by the government, cryptocurrency is a global currency whose transactions are open to millions of people in the blockchain system. Now, briefly, let me just digress a bit. Bitcoin is global, but Naira is not global. Pounds is not global. I can't um, I can't use my pounds anywhere. I can only use my pounds when I'm in England. I can only use my naira when I'm in Nigeria. But if you have your Bitcoin in your wallet, wherever you are going to, whatever country you are traveling to, when you get there easily, you can convert it to the country's fiat. You understand? You can convert it to the country's banknotes. Can you guys hear me? Reply in the chat box. Alright. So, yeah, that being said, cryptocurrencies are 100% digital with transactions not controlled or backed by any bank. They are 100% digital. The transactions are not controlled or backed by any bank. For example, if I want to send 1 million naira or $1 million to somebody in, maybe to a friend in, let's say, Jos, I don't have to go through the bank. I can easily do my transactions through my phone, you understand, using my wallet. But if you go to the bank to make such transactions, if care is not taken, you can actually be questioned. Not even if care is not taken, they'll actually question you, they'll ask you some questions. Okay, this person you are sending money to, who is this person? What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Please, those just joining, kindly mute yourself. Thank you. Alright, let's forge ahead. Cryptocurrencies are global currencies, while fiat currencies exist within countries and territories. I explained this earlier. Now, if you can see this image here well, though it's small, you might not really see it well. Now, the traditional system says you as the sender, you as the sender, you take your money to the bank. You as a sender, you take your money to the bank. Your money goes through this payment system, Visa, Mastercard, Venmo, PayPal. Now it gets to the bank of the receiver. Then the receiver withdraws the money. You understand? But for the decentralized system here, it is just you, the sender, and go straight to the receiver. You don't have to go through the bank. You don't have to go to all this method here. So that's one beautiful thing about the cryptocurrency. Now, like I said, this means people from different angles of the world can trade and do business with each other in cryptocurrency without the need for any foreign exchange. Now, this decentralized form of money solves a key problem: the ability to take away complete control of money from the government's hand and into the hands of the people. Now, that is one beautiful thing about decentralization: taking money, solving the problem of taking total control of the money from the hands of the government and putting it in the hands of the people. You as a person, you have full control of your funds. You control how your funds come in. You control how your funds go out. You understand? Now, because the government of a country legally has the right to print money, they can make the poor decision of printing more money than is necessary, causing hyperinflation and economic crash. You understand? Like I said this earlier when I was talking about it, that unlike cryptocurrency, you can't just mint new units of a cryptocurrency. Certain conditions must be met before this is done. Now let's forge ahead. Now, what are the main drawbacks of the banking system? What are the main drawbacks of the banking system? Number one drawback or setback is accessibility. Now, the bank are usually not available during weekends. You understand? You can't go to the bank to make some transactions. You understand? So this is one of the major drawback of the banking system. I'll need to rush because we have just 15 minutes of our time left. Now, another drawback is financial inclusion. Now, the traditional banking system use different techniques to market their work. They set aside some projects for selected group of people which cannot be available to the others. Now, this group of people get some favors like soft loans, prolonged payment durations, and lower interest. So this traditional system, another drawback is that financial inclusion, which is in other terms saying a form of like favoritism, you understand, to certain persons. Another drawback is security issue. Skilled technicians can hack many mobile banking apps. As a result, some people end up losing large sum of funds from their accounts. We've seen many cases whereby they hack some people's bank accounts. You understand? Now it could be that the person in charge of the account, maybe the account officer, was careless, or he leaked the person's bank details or information about the person's account to someone, to a third party. This could lead to hack of the person's funds. Now, another one says extra fees and slow transactions. Now, you know how the bank works. Sometimes they'll tell you, check back in 7 working days, in this and that. You have to make some extra fees in doing some transactions. You understand? Some transactions has to go through some protocols before those transactions can be processed. Now, this is another setback of cryptocurrency of the traditional banking system. Now, another one says can be biased. Since bank transactions and financial services depend on account numbers and account names, they are open to bias. In a case of feud with the officials of a certain bank, the financial service issuing officer can deliberately delay the transaction. Maybe you go to a bank now and you had little misunderstanding. You had little misunderstanding with the um, the account officer or the cashier, the person that was attending to you. Because of that misunderstanding, he can actually say he will delay you over there. You understand? He can actually delay your transaction. He can actually make you stay longer than the time you were meant to spend there. You understand? So these are the drawbacks of the traditional banking system. So now, how cryptocurrencies can offer more than banking system? How can cryptocurrency what does cryptocurrency have to offer than the banking system? Now, number one thing that the cryptocurrency can offer than the banking system is the decentralized nature, the third party. There is no need for third party. There is no need for human interaction. Once the conditions are met, you have your transaction. Like I said earlier for the smart contract, you don't have to go through the bank. You don't have to go through a particular processor. You understand, for you to make some transactions. So that's that. Another one is security concern. The biggest issue surrounding financial system is security concern. Cryptocurrencies run on blockchain technology, which is which is highly intact and free from major security threats like hacking. I said earlier, for you to hack the blockchain, for you to hack the blockchain, you need a lot of computers working at the same time. You understand, and it will require so much resources. It is also free from fraudulent activities since the system automatically processes the transaction with minimal human interaction. So when I want to make a transaction, I don't it is not processed by a human being. You understand? It is not really processed by a human being. It has little or no human interaction in processing the transactions. Another one says smart contracts. I explained what smart contract is earlier. Now, here again, cryptocurrency can also have smart contracts running in their blockchain networks. These smart contracts have a design to give computer instructions and process them with minimal human interactions. I explained this earlier. Now, therefore, they can serve excellently in doing away with fraudulent activities and corruption, which is a challenge to banks. You understand? For example, you want to open a bank account. The bank account you want to open has to pass through a particular person. It has to pass through some protocols. You want to make a transaction to your friend in Europe, you have to go through the Western Union, you have to go through some protocols and all. You understand? But for this smart contract in the crypto space, you don't need any human interaction. You just have to give a command and the transaction will be performed. Chicken, as simple as that. Now, financial inclusion. Cryptocurrencies have minimal entry barriers. As a result, they are easily accessible to everyone, regardless of their status. Like I said, whether you were born with a silver spoon, a golden spoon, a wooden spoon, an iron spoon, a rubber spoon, or whatever spoon you were born with, cryptocurrency gives everyone an equal opportunity. This feature is encouraging since they may help improve the economy wholesomely as everyone gets equal chances. Now, if the government of a country can empower the youth on the blockchain technology about cryptocurrency, eh, the rates of um, the level of or the level or rate of underemployment would reduce. You understand? The standard of living of the people would increase because with the cryptocurrency, with the blockchain tech, it can help our youth to be economic, to be financially independent, like I said earlier, and not dependent on the economy. You understand? Not dependent on the government providing a job or whatever. You understand? So this is one beautiful thing that cryptocurrency has to offer more than the traditional banking system. Another one says accessibility. Unlike banks, unlike banks that I said earlier that they don't open on Saturdays and Sundays, the cryptocurrency runs like 247. I can make my transactions even as late as 3 a.m. I can make my transactions even by 4 a.m. You understand? Cryptocurrency use automatic systems that do not require so many human interactions. Therefore, they are accessible every time of the day, including the weekend and holidays. For example, now you want to send money to your friend in China and there is a public holiday, you can't actually make that transaction through the bank. But with the cryptocurrency, you can make such transaction irrespective of the holiday, irrespective of the festival that is being celebrated. You understand? So that's that. Now, another one says instant remittance. Cryptocurrencies have very fast transaction speed. You can send money to someone in China, to someone in Sokoto, to someone in Australia in a split of seconds. You understand? Unlike the traditional financial system, it has to go through protocols. Now, these days, if you go to the bank, before you even enter, they ask you to sit down outside first. You join the queue. You use your face mask before you enter inside. When you get inside, some banks like GT Bank, you go and face another queue again inside. You understand? But for this crypto space here, all those things are avoided. You understand? All those things they are avoided easily. You can send transaction, you can make your transaction, you can send your money, you can receive money. You understand? In split of seconds. It doesn't take up to a minute. 2 seconds, the person has received the funds. And lastly, unlike the banking system, which offers almost uniform financial services, cryptocurrencies are many and have different features. We have different aspects of cryptocurrency. We have an aspect called DeFi, decentralized finance. We have an aspect called centralized finance. We have so many aspects. In crypto, we have insurance. In crypto, we have banking. Almost everything the bank will do for you. We have protocols in cryptocurrency in the crypto space that can actually offer the same services. Is it lending? We have platform whereby you can actually lend money. You understand? Whereby you can actually borrow money and you can also lend money. You get? Now, we also have platforms whereby instead of you saving your money in the bank, okay, I saw a screenshot 2 days back. No, that was yesterday. A particular person invested $3,000, converted his naira to dollars. He saved that money. I think he deposited that money in the bank. I don't know. I think it's called fixed whatever. I don't know, one fixed savings or so like that. Now he saved it for I think 2 years or so. When he got to the bank, what he was having was when he converted it back. I think okay, he converted $3,000 to naira, and he saved it. I think fixed deposit or whatever it's called for 1 or 2 years. Now, when he got back in 2 years' time, what he was now having was the interest on it was just 100,000 naira, and I was like, why? Where you have platforms in the crypto space whereby your money, even without buying any cryptocurrency, the money you are saving in your bank, you can just save it as a stable coin and be getting some percentages every month. For example, there is a platform, an exchange called Binance. We'll talk about that one later. They have a particular system whereby you can save your money for 60 days and you get 10% of whatever you saved there. This one is not, I'm not talking about Ponzi. I'm not talking about all those um, all those platforms that you put your money 30 days, you get 30%. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about crypto. I'm talking about a more secured platform whereby your funds are saved. You understand? Your funds are safe and secured. So all these things and so many platforms like that, so many platforms whereby you can also earn residual incomes. The last topic we'll be taking in this training, we're talking about liquidity staking. Understand? That part, I'll still come again to take that particular aspect. It's a very, very beautiful topic whereby you can actually be earning residual income. It's not everyone that buys coins. It's not everyone that trades on a daily basis. You understand? Because some persons have this notion that um, so if I enter this crypto space now, I must be checking my phone every day. I must be buying and selling coin every day. No, we have so many strategies. We'll talk about that one later. You understand? So, like I said here, such diversity is a cut across above the traditional services, since crypto investment can grow in more than one way simultaneously. There are so many protocols being built currently. So, this brings us to the end of our class. So, I don't know if there is any question